All right, so today I'm going to show you how to put a decal on. Now, if you've never installed a decal, it's kind of like putting on window tint. If you've never done window tinting or never put on a decal, even a small sticker, this is a pretty big sticker, but I want to show you how to put it on, because if you don't put it on right, it just looks stupid. You know, it's got bubbles in it, and it's crooked, and you ruin the decal that you paid for, and it just doesn't look good. So I'll show you the right way to do it. So now I'm going to measure it to make sure I'm centered. I take my tape measure and I butt it in. I don't want to hook it, because if I hook it here and the other side I accidentally hook here and don't notice, then I'll be off. So I'm going to butt it in, put pressure on it, and then I'll pull the tape measure out until I'm lined up with the side. I'm going to line up with this side of the sticker. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to come over, because it's got the same lip. I'm going to butt into it. I'm going to measure over to this side of the letter. And when I make those exactly the same, I'll have to move the sticker back and forth until I get it perfect. Then I'll end up with it being perfectly centered on the back. Now, as far as height, I'm going to do the same thing with the height. I'm going to take the tape measure and I'm going to butt it into the bottom, and then I'm going to measure it up to the bottom of the letter. I'm going to do the same thing on the other end of the decal. So I'll come over here and I'll butt it in on the bottom, same exact spot in the trim, to the bottom. Now I'm going to double check it. So I'm going to butt it into the top trim and pull it down to the bottom. And I'm going to butt it into the top trim and I'm going to pull it down to the bottom again, just to double check my height. Sometimes trim is off. You notice the same thing in your house. If you try to hang a picture, hang a TV, use your level, and then if you check it with the ceiling or the floor, it might be off a little bit. So let's get more than one reference point if possible. Okay, so now I got it centered and I've got it level. Now, once you do one and then you do the other, you either go back and check the other. If you centered it first, make sure after you get it level that you come back and check center again, because you might end up with a little bit of movement and have to adjust. All right, so once it's there, you go to the next step. Okay, so now that I got the decal all marked off, I'm gonna leave my tape in place, and I'm gonna Windex the back area, or just use soap and water if you want. And then after you do that, whether it's Windex or soap and water, get a paper towel, some rubbing alcohol, put the rubbing alcohol in the paper towel and wipe the whole area down to ensure it's clean, there's no wax or any kind of residue left on where you're gonna be applying your decal. Okay, I've got it all clean. And if you notice, I'm doing this in the shade. If you do it in the sun, it's still possible, but this next step makes it a little bit more difficult. Okay, so I've got it measured, I've got it cleaned, and I now just put some soapy water on it. This is just a spray bottle with soapy water. It says simple green, but this is just soapy water. There's probably about 5 drops of Dawn dish soap in the amount of water you see there. And I just spray it all over the back. And I mean, I saturate it. I want it just saturated with water when I put the decal on. I'll squeegee it out, but if it's too dry, your sticker goes on wrong. There's problems, bubbles, wrinkles, and you can't get them out. Same thing as if you try to do it without water. Or you see people window tint and they got bubbles all over it. They just try to pull the sticker and stick it on without getting it wet to where they can squeegee it. So, put it on. Put a lot of soap, or not soap, but a lot of water out of this soap water mixture. Just saturate it. Next step is I'm going to peel the back of this off. Okay, so right now it's soaking wet behind it. I've got it on there. After I peeled the back off, I sprayed soapy water on the back of the decal itself. So, of course, the face of the decal is still on the paper. The back sticky part is covered in soapy water and stuck to the soapy water back of the vehicle. Now with that on there, you can see, even though it's super sticky 3M, I can still move it. I can still pull it into place wherever I want. No bubbles, no wrinkles. I can just go around and I could just shift it right into place exactly where I want it. So I'm gonna do that until I get all my tape lined up perfectly everywhere. So I'm going through it right now. You can see I just squeegeed this area, and I'm gonna be coming through here and I'm just going to get all the wrinkles, bubbles, anything that might be in there. It's all gonna come out now. You can see some water is coming out the bottom. See water drooling out here. That's that soapy water we spray. Don't be afraid to put too much on there. Better too much than too little. You know, if you have too little, then your sticker might bound up underneath there. You'll be trying to slide it around and it won't work. So anyway, I'm gonna go around the whole thing and I'm gonna squeegee all the water out. Now, if this was a big sticker, as far as it wasn't separate letters, I'd start in the center and I'd work it all out until I pushed all the water out all the sides. Don't start on the side. If this was the end of the sticker and I pushed this water out and I got to the center, now it's all stuck over here. It's hard to push the water to the stuck area. It's not really stuck when there's all soapy water behind it. So start in the center, push it out. And you'll be able to push out all, if you got a little wrinkle, if you got bubbles, any of that, it'll all come out when you're squeegeeing the water out. Okay, so I went through and I squeegeed it easy. And then after I did the whole decal, I came back and did it all again a little firmer. And now I'm ready to pull the paper off. As I start pulling the paper off, it'll leave the decal left behind. So I'm gonna put the phone down and I'll let you know when I'm done. Hope you can see this one up here. It's starting to come off a little bit, so I will use my squeegee. I'll put it back in place. I'll make sure it's firm on there. Sometimes little edges will start peeling them up. And now pull it back off. There we go. Another note, when I'm pulling this off, I'm not pulling it out way out here. I'm gonna keep it close to the decal itself and roll it off. Okay, it's almost off and it's done. So as I was pulling it off, there was a couple spots, especially on these smaller letters, where like the side started to come up, but as I pulled real slow, it stayed in place. And once I got a little bit past it, I just kind of worked it back out, and that's it, it's stuck. Now at this point, I'm gonna take a nice soft like terry cloth rag, and I'm gonna just kind of rub them all down, to kind of, it's they're pretty well stuck. Once the sun hits them, they're gonna be baked on there. But I mean, I should be able to drive down the road right now, no problems. But I'm gonna go ahead and just rub them down, get a little bit warmer. Of course, heat up the glue, which will help it stick better while I'm waiting for the sun to get. Okay, so it went on there, all went well. No blemishes, centered, level, done. This will be the same technique that you use if you were to put on a hood graphic, or maybe something on your door, or a small decal on your window. So large job, small job, this is the same technique. Hopefully this decal itself will bring us some more awareness to the channel as we try to promote a healthier lifestyle, getting away from the depression and anxiety, PTSD, and using that to propel yourself forward, getting back out in life like we are, to do some RV travels. And we'll share some places to go, hopefully some educational videos along the way about building a better lifestyle and different places you might want to travel. So hopefully this video helped you if you put on your decal. Subscribe if you would, share the channel all you can to help us bring some more awareness that we're trying to do. I'd appreciate that. Thanks for watching.